Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Obviously, recording from a new surroundings. We're staying with some friends down here in Washington D.C., and we're leaving in the morning, and we're going to be heading further south on vacation. But so I'm doing the live stream from their house tonight. They very graciously said that I could do that. We already went out and had dinner at a really nice place. It's like a Washington institution. What's the name of it? The Old Ebbets Grill is where we had dinner tonight, and it was very, very good. So, so that's where we are at. So just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. Just I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So please watch your language in the chat and be nice to each other as well. And so just if you don't, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here. So just be decent to each other. That's all that I ask. So I'm sorry that the thing went up so late. We've been out and about literally all day long, going to museums and seeing different stuff. And so we spent our day doing that, which was absolutely awesome. And it's really, really nice. And I said it in my earlier video, is having somebody from the area that knows the area and take you around and show you different stuff. That's been really, really cool to be able to do that. So, they've been awesome hosts. And I'm not saying that because they're both sitting right in here. So, but I mean that. No, they're absolutely awesome. So, we've had a really nice time, and it's been really nice. It's like being at home. So it's been a very nice time. So, yeah, while still live on vacation. Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what, George? I'm gonna try to do them while I'm on vacation from wherever we're at, and if I can get it done and do it, then great. If I can't, then I won't. But they got really good Wi-Fi here, so I was like, cool, this will work. So I figured I would come live from you guys and kind of explain, yes, I am on vacation, first one in about 5 years, which is nice. So I actually was funny because I had somebody earlier last year had said to me in a question, they said, do you ever take vacation? And we just hadn't, there was always something else going on and something else to do. Terrence Parker Jr. said, I visited there before. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And like I said, to have somebody local that knows the area and where to go and how to go, and it's a lot of freaking people. A lot of people. And then you got all the tourists and everybody's, all around. And it was really nice. It was a good atmosphere. It was not weird or nobody was being a jerk. It was really, really nice. So, definitely going to give props to that. So, but yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and it's nice to get away. So I do have somebody at the house watching things for us while we were gone, obviously, taking care of the animals and taking care of the chickens and the dogs and all that good stuff and the cats. So like I said, it's nice to get away and not have any kind of set schedule that we have to abide by, and we can just kind of do what we want to do. Tomorrow, we're actually going to a huge flea market in Virginia. And so I'm looking forward to doing that because I absolutely love those type of things. And so Eric was saying, he goes, well, Heather, you want to come? And she's like, yeah. He don't know my daughter that well because she loves that. And there's Heather.
Here I am.
Here you am.
We're watching from the other room.
There, yeah,
on our phones.
That's funny.
I get you the views.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa, curtains, says Mickey B.
Yes, absolutely. So, but anyway, yes, I'm in Washington, D.C. That's where we are right now. So as we continue on our trip and we're going to live stream, we will be at different places. So it should be fun. And, like I said, just enjoying getting away. I wish that Eddie would have come with us, but he chose not to. So that's why you don't see Eddie here with us as well. And I'm not going to force the boy to go if he doesn't want to go. So Heather and I are just going to get out here and just have a good time and just kind of relax and do that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta show the bracelet.
Yep, you can show that. Yep.
Our wonderful hosts got for me this at the end. Cover your face. It's not important.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, take my leave now.
All right. Somebody asked, how was school, Heather?
School's good. 3.7 GPA.
Yeah,
so
doing very well.
Go back on the 13th.
Yep.
For their fun semester, taking German 1, so come back and be bilingual.
Where's the big flea market? I might go. Where's that flea market, Eric?
Chantilly, Virginia.
Chantilly, Virginia.
The big flea.
The big flea is what it's called. So, hey, Buddha Bob, get something for Heather at the beach. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I will do that. And I already got and thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. But today we were out and hitting different space. We hit the aerospace place. Of course, had to get Eddie a T-shirt with NASA because he likes NASA. So, your daughter at his top flight. Well, thank you very much. She's a very good young lady, very, very good young lady. So. But so anyway, I wanted to obviously talk about some different things, current events, right? So we're going to talk about the situation with our, and we're going to talk about a couple different things, which I think is amazing, depending on which news channel that you watch and all this type of stuff. But we're going to talk about the airstrikes that happened. That took out that, and I'm not going to attempt to say the guy's name, but the top Iranian guy, their military guy, their like hero that they have there, took him out, and he was at the Baghdad airport, okay, in Iraq. So a couple things with that. All right, I guarantee you they knew he was there, okay, and that's why he got taken out, because they knew he was there. So a couple things with that. He's not supposed to be in Iraq, right? And so, you put yourself out there, you are a target, and if they get the intel on it, they're going to do what they're going to do. Now, of course, Iran is saying that they're going to do some kind of a retaliation. You got to understand something. Regardless of the sanctions and stuff that we got going on, which is choking Iran right now with the sanctions, because they're not being able to sell as much oil as they normally do, all right? So they're like literally from, say, instead of 100% of what they're putting out to be able to sell, it's literally down to 25%. So that's financially, it's a huge amount of money that they're losing every single day. And it's because we're squeezing them. All right. So they're saying they're going to do some kind of retaliation for what we've done. But first of all, they're guys in the wrong country to begin with. And, these and they're causing trouble, obviously. So Iran's going to be very, very careful if they do any kind of retaliation, because I will tell you right now, people talk about, well, the Iranian army is not anything like the Iraqi army. They're better trained and blah, 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 blah. Now, if you guys remember at one time, Iran and Iraq were at war with each other long before we went over there and got involved in all that type of stuff. And they were at war, I think, for about 10 years. And they fought each other, for that whole 10-year period. We went over there and we cleaned house. Everybody talks about, oh, Iran's not like Iraq and yada, yada, yada. Notice how I say this, guys, if we are allowed to take the gloves off and truly fight a war as it should be fought, Iran would be absolutely no problem at all for the United States. They know that. We know that. Realistically, Iran, just like North Korea, is realistically no threat to the United States whatsoever in any way, shape, or form, okay? All this, and I'm going to tell you what, and I've talked about this before, and I said if down the road we will definitely be going to war with Iran. And the main reasons that is going to happen, and I've talked about this too, there's only 3 countries that are not on the fiat dollar, okay? That's North Korea, that is Iran, and that is Venezuela. Now, the whole thing with Venezuela has kind of died down, and you're not hearing a whole lot about that anymore. But things had amped up with Iran. The powers that be, whoever they truly are, want us to be at war with Iran because Iran will not comply. They're on the gold standard. So there's a lot more to it than you think. At some point, we will be at war with Iran. The majority, and this is my opinion, and you guys can think whatever you want. The majority of the American population that isn't brainwashed by the nonsense that they see on TV don't want to be at war either. Okay, with Iran or anybody else. The Iranian people in general don't want to be at war with the United States. Now, of course, you have your core group that would love to go to war with us and stuff like that, but they can't win a war with us. They can't. So, that's my opinion. And again, at the end of the day, realistically, nobody wins in those situations anyway. Now, the whole thing with the retaliation with the protesters going to the, the embassy and trying to cause problems, and the immediate reaction by the president. And I talked about this in my last live stream. I thought that was fantastic because coming from a position of strength, not weakness like former president that we had, Obama, okay, who did nothing and let our people be killed. All right. This time they were in there very, very quickly. And guess what? That protest went away. Those guys went away. So, there's a lot of games being played and a lot of people, so I wanted to say, so I was watching and I watched a couple different things, and I watched CNN, an article about it, and they were talking about it. And I watched the video, and they were originally talking in the video about how, yes, we did this to this guy, and Iran's going to retaliate. And then, of course, then it got right into, the president is an idiot and blah, 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 blah. He's not an idiot. He's playing a game just like all the rest of these guys are playing a game. They've tried to say that this is his Benghazi. It's not even close. It's not even close to the same thing. The difference between what happened in Benghazi and the Iraqi embassy are night and day. How many Americans were killed in the Iraqi embassy because of them trying to get in there and do something? 0, because we had a strong response with helicopters, planes, and Marines. So that squashed that in a hurry. We have a president that has a pair, if you know what I mean, that is coming from a position of strength and is not going to take the crap. That's my opinion. Anybody can think whatever they want. But when you watch the different news agencies, they're trying to discredit it. Of course, the Democrats are trying to discredit it as well. But it's a win for Trump. If you support him or don't support him, it is absolutely, this whole situation is a huge win for Trump. So that's my opinion. And like I said, I just, so I will say this, okay? So people have, because I have my Trump 2020 hat, people said to me, because I had it on video, and they were like, oh, well, you wouldn't wear that in the city and blah, 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 right? I wore it all day yesterday. I've worn it in Rochester, New York. And guess how many people gave me a hard time about it? Not one, okay? So just letting you know that too. So those people that said that only reason that I wear it is because I'm out in the country and nobody's going to say nothing, I wore it all day long yesterday in Washington, D.C. And not one, I got some looks, but not one person said a thing. So just letting you know. Yeah, Trump is for the American people, Angelo Martinez said. Yep, I agree. I think he's trying to help the people. He's trying to make our country stronger. I think he's trying to clean up the garbage that has gone on for way too long. So, but why do Republican administration always start wars? Well, you know what? Okay, Marie, let's talk about that for a second. In the entire 8 years that Obama was president, we were at war. Okay, if the Democrats were so against war, why didn't he immediately pull all of our troops out of everywhere then? That war continued. Realistically, we are still at war in Afghanistan, right? My children are 18 years old. Since my children have been born, we have been at war. So that is 3 years of Trump, 8 years of Obama, Bush before that, so it's all of them. I want you to remember something, and I've talked about this over and over again, and I'm going to say the same thing again. Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. They are two sides of the same coin. They have an agenda, and the agenda is not to help you, the American people. That is my opinion on that. So, war makes the rich a lot more money. Yeah. Why do you think? Okay, now realistically, let's think about this for a second. Let's talk about Afghanistan. If we really, truly wanted to go in there and win, we could easily do that. But we're fighting a war that they go on and on and on forever. Why does that happen? War is money. War is big money. So these companies and the rich are making a tremendous amount of money from these foreign endeavors that we have all over the world. And whose children are dying? Our children. Middle class, middle America, city kids, kids from suburbia. Those rich kids aren't going over there and fighting. It's not happening. So that's, again, that's my opinion. And, yeah, war for the Rothschilds, right. And realistically, I mean, if you really want to look at it, who's the biggest target for Iran? Let's think about this a second. Is it the United States? Really? Is it the United States? No, it's Israel. And we do Israel's bidding. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, you know, so they can't get into that, because if they get into it, then everybody in that region is going to go after Israel. So we go in there and we push our might around, but we're doing Israel's bidding is what we're really doing. Hey, Mountain Girl, how we doing? Yes, we are Legion. Yes, we are. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that donation, too. I do appreciate that. War, what is it good for? Exactly, the song. Exactly. Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to tell you what. I don't care what rah-rah speech a lot of the troops are going to give you. I've been in their service. I know the real deal. They don't want to be over in some foreign land dying for nothing or dying for oil. They don't want to be. They want to be home with their families just like everybody else. Now I'm going to tell you what. If somebody truly attacked the United States and came into the United States of America and tried to pull some crap, it'd be a bad day for them. We have a lot of people here that are not going to take that laying down, and they would be in big, big trouble. And it wouldn't just be from our military, So let's put it like this: a foreign power could come in here and take over certain cities, and they could do that. Now they would have a fight on their hands. They wouldn't come into the country. I can tell you that right now. Hey, Sierra Gold, thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So anyway, I'm just giving you guys, like I said, my opinion. So more deaths have been caused by religion than all forms of wars combined. Well, let's think about this. Sean was saying that more deaths have been caused in the name of organized religion than any other way in the history of mankind. If we go against Israel, we are doomed. Well, like I said, we are okay. So here, to put it in perspective, Israel is that 95-pound weakling. Now, don't get me wrong. The Israeli fighters and stuff like that, they are tough. They can handle their own, but they're not a big enough country to be able to take on everybody, okay? We are their protectors. That's who we are. That's the United States. We're the biggest bully on the block. We push our weight around all the time. So Israel will come to us and say, he's picking on me. And we go in there and we take care of business. We may do it in a different name for a different reason, but we're doing it to protect Israel. And, like I said, I know a lot of people cannot stand Jewish people. I have nothing against them. I don't care, They do their thing. We do our thing. It's just totally different. I'm that way with everybody, to be honest with you. If I mind my own business, you take care of your own business. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what your political affiliation is. Do what you do. If it makes you happy and it gives you peace of mind, knock yourself out. And I've talked about that a lot, and you guys know that. I don't judge anybody on that aspect. I really, truly don't. Because who am I, realistically, who am I to tell somebody you're wrong and you can't do it that way? So I would never do that. Yeah, yep. The U.S. killed an Iranian leader, but again, where was he? Was he in Iran? No, he was in Iraq. So what was he up to? What was he doing there? Like I said, he was a target, guys. They knew exactly that he was there. They knew he was there. So Israel is in the biblical prophecies. Everyone will go against them before the end times, as it is described. Well, like I said, we have always had Israel's back. We just have. It's been from the very beginning. You know what, Ace of Spades, I can't agree with you more. He said, if you ask me, we should just mind our own business. And you know what? I can't disagree with you on that, because I'm going to tell you what, and I've talked about this a million times, and I'll talk about it again right now. Oh, actually, too, and I want to real quick, because I haven't asked yet, and my trolls will be very, very upset if I don't ask. So if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, please do that. Because I see we got over 400 people in the chat, and we're at 128 on the thumbs up. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do that. So anyway, what was I going to say? What were we talking about? Will Iran nuke the Jews? I don't think you'll see that happening, because you got to understand, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. And there's certain limits to what's going to be allowed and not allowed. Okay, so... But that's how that goes. If Iran retaliates, as they say they're going to, on what scale? What's going to push that over the edge that we go, oh, yeah, well, watch this. You know what I mean? So they're treading very carefully, trust me. But I mean, will they retaliate? They might. They might just be talking. You don't know. But again, their guy was not in Iran. We didn't go over and bomb somebody in Iran. He was in Iraq. Now, we did attack Syria as well with those missile strikes. But what I wanted to get back to my point that I was making, and I've said this a lot as well. Mind our own business, pull our troops home, and take care of our country. If we just focus, now I want you guys to think about this for a second. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about a kid just out of high school, 18 years old. He wants to get a job and he wants to work. We could put that kid to work from that time he's 18 to 68 for the next 50 years. That kid could work. And how could he do that? Infrastructure, okay? Our roads are crap. Our bridges are crap. Our waterways are garbage. They all need to be taken care of, okay? We need to take care of our electrical grid. So there is work there. And see, this is what always kills me. Well, we don't have the money for this, or we don't have the money for that, but we have, $1 trillion that we can put towards war and feeding that war machine. Let's take care of our country. You want to make America great, and this is my opinion. You want to make America great? Put that money into education. Put that money into trade schools for kids, because not everybody wants to go to college. But I'll tell you what, if you give a kid a trade, plumber, carpenter, electrician, okay, welder, you give him that kind of trade, he'll never, ever be without work, ever. I don't care what the economy's doing. Those guys are always going to have a job, always. So let's educate our children. Let's give them a chance to not only just survive, but let's let them thrive. Let's let them make a good living, okay? There's so many things out there that people can do. You don't always have to go to college. Some people are geared for college and some aren't. I mean, I didn't go back to school till I was 29 years old. And it was because I wanted to at that point to get my nursing license, So you get to that point and you just decide, where do you want to be and where's your niche? What do you find? I didn't know what I wanted to do out of high school. I had no clue what I wanted to do. So, I thought I did, but I was wrong. I wanted to be an electrician, to be honest with you. And that's what I went into service to do. And, so I was in a combat engineer unit. So we got to play with C4. I got to blow up C4 and do stuff like that, which was a blast. That was a lot of fun. But, we would go in, and if there was a situation, we were the people. We were the unit that I was in. I was attached to the 20th Engineer Brigade down at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. We were the engineers. That's what we were. So, but what we got here. Christopher Adams says, I regret going to college since my degree is useless. And some of them are, unfortunately, and they're pushing kids to do that. And then they come out of college with huge debt. They can't find a job in their field. Or there's so many stupid degrees that you hear about, and they're useless. Okay. So these kids have gone to college for 4 years thinking that they're going to walk out of college into a 6-figure job, and they're just not there. And so now they got to go out and figure out how they're going to make a living, pay all those student loans back and stuff like that. It's tough. It's not easy. But again, like I said, I would encourage anybody, go into the trades. Tradesmen make much more money than college grads these days. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. And that's a great point. So think about that. So you go and become a tradesman, right? So you get your apprenticeship period. Say your apprenticeship period is 3-4 years or whatever. And then but even then, while you're an apprentice, you're getting paid, okay? And then, you're going to make a decent living after that. And, my grandfather was a carpenter. He did plumbing. He did it all. I mean, and I'm going to tell you what, once he had worked at Kodak, he retired in 1972. When he retired from Kodak, he always had work. He was a painter. He did, because my mom, him, and myself, we all would go and do paint jobs. He was a carpenter. He was a plumber. And I'll never forget this, and I wanted to bring this up. So we were, all of us were pretty smart kids and stuff like that. And he had, literally, I think he had a 5th grade education. And he used to say to me, he would say, Ed, you guys are all so smart and I'm so stupid. And I used to say to him, wait a minute, Grandpa. I said, don't ever sell yourself short. I said, the knowledge that you have in your hands is priceless. I said, so don't ever disrespect yourself like that, because he was just, I mean, he had forearms from wrenching that was unbelievable. You know what I mean? And he was good at what he did, and people loved him. And like I said, he never lacked for work once he retired. So he did whatever he wanted to do, which was awesome. I'm going to start crocheting again, and we're going to need to help in those ways again soon. You know what, Wolf Pup? That's a smart thing to do. Pick that skill back up. Do that. Learn it. You know what I mean? Perfect it, because when that time comes, and again, I've talked about this, guys, when something happens, it's going to be bam. It's going to be that quick. And so you got to be really careful with that. And, that's just, being honest about that. That's, it's going to shock us all when the time comes. And having skills that are going to transcend from the way things are now, the way things will be. Think about how much a cobbler will be worth. Somebody that makes shoes and knows how to make shoes or repair shoes and stuff like that. They're going to be worth their weight in gold. They really will be. So crocheting is easy to learn. Taught myself using YouTube. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like Heather, I went to train for HVAC. And that's not a bad thing either, Tara. There you go. And there's another, like I said, those guys too, they're always working. Always working. Took a tech class for automotive, and now I can fix anything there is on the road today. And there's another great profession, an automotive guy. You know how to fix cars and work on cars. There's another job where you're always going to have work as long as the world doesn't end as we know it. But even if it does, then them older cars that are EMP proof and those type of things, they're still going to be up and running, and they need people that know how to fix them and take care of them and stuff like that. So those are very, very important as well. My dad taught me because he said it was very useful. And that's right. And it is. It absolutely is. I'm going to tell you what, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not mechanically inclined, okay, at all. I am not a guy, I don't fix cars. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I was a nurse for many, many, many years, as you guys know. I've learned things since I've been on my homestead, like with getting the electrical, stuff set up and getting our solar system in place and stuff like that. And you learn as you go. You make mistakes, you learn from them, and you fix them, And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of times I'll do videos, and some of you guys out there will say to me, Ed, you know what, this is wrong or that's wrong. You need to check into that and fix that. And if I, and I listen to all that, I take all that. I'm going to tell you what. So this is what I get to a lot. Well, you don't ever respond to any comments. No, I do some, but I can't. There's no way. If you guys had any idea how much stuff comes in all the time, how many comments daily I get, I do not respond to every comment. I will respond to comments here and there if I see something, and I'll jump in and say something. But I read every single comment that goes out there. I want you guys to know that. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, or that I think I'm some hotshot YouTuber and I'm above everybody else. I'm going to tell you what. I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. I always have been. I don't care how big this channel ever gets down the road. I'm still going to be a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. I'm not any better than anybody else. And so, when I tell you guys, when I say we are all in this together and we are Legion, it's because that's true. And if we can network and get together with the right people and get the right people together, so that like if something happens at one retreat and you have another option that you can go someplace else with another group of people, and they know you and they're familiar with you and they're willing to work with you, that's what it's all about. And I think that that's so, so important. And so I will always be a huge advocate, for that. So guys, what are we at? 224 and a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and ask again if you guys would shoot me a thumbs up. We're up to almost 500 people in the chat. So if you would do that, that would be great. I would appreciate that. And again, for two reasons. One, just because I like it. It makes me feel good to see a lot of thumbs up. And number two, because my trolls absolutely detest it that I ask for thumbs up. And I just like to irritate them because it's good for them. They're religiously watching. So thank you, trolls, for your support. I appreciate that. I never could understand, guys, and I will say this over and over and over again. If you don't like somebody's channel and you don't like what they're doing, why do you watch? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. But they watch, they're very loyal, and they're helping me make money. So thank you, trolls. You're doing a good thing there. And hating on me, they're leaving somebody else alone. So I got broad shoulders, I can take it. So it doesn't bother me at all. Hey, Danny. We are in Washington, D.C. right now. So we got down here last night and I left early. Okay, so I got to tell you what happens when I travel. All right, so we had this trip planned. We knew we were leaving the second. So the night before we started getting things together and stuff like that. And then we're like, okay, I said, we're going to be up at 6 and we're going to be out the door on the road at 7 a.m. And Heather's like, okay, no problem, right? Well, I laid down about 1:30. I woke up at 3 and I start thinking, I need to bring this, I need to bring that, I need to bring the other thing. So at about 4 o'clock, I got out of bed and I went in and I said, okay, Heather, wake up, pack up. We're going to take care of the animals and we're getting on the road. And we were on the road by 4:45 in the morning. I don't sleep when I got to travel. So we got down here to DC, which is almost a 6-hour drive. As you saw, we stopped at Gettysburg and we did that. And that was very, very cool. So then we got here and then Eric actually took us out and we went out a little bit. And that's when we went over. And I'm going to say it this way because this is what we went to the Indian Museum. Not the Native American Museum. It says the Indian Museum. So if you want to look it up in Washington, D.C., that's what it's called. I'm not being disrespectful to Native Americans, so please don't hammer me because of that. But it's called the Indian Museum. So we went there and we did and he's like, well, what else you want to do? And we were shocked. We were like, we really like to go back and take a nap. So we came back yesterday, took a nap, got up, and then we had some dinner and we sat around and talked a little bit more, and then we all went back to sleep. And as you guys saw, the video went up at about 4 o'clock in the morning because I slept from 10 o'clock till about 3, woke up, and I'm like, okay, I got this video that I made. I want to get it up. So that's why I put that video up then. And like I said, we got up today. And so then I went back to sleep. Then we got up later, and we went around all day today, and then we went out to dinner and stuff like that. So we had a really nice time. It's been very, very relaxed and very enjoyable. Let's see. The National Mall is great. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. So I got to tell you this. So you got George Washington's obelisk, basically, is what it is. It's an Egyptian obelisk, okay? And that's the George Washington Monument. And so we were at one of the places, and they had like little miniature obelisks that they were selling. I bought one of those because I just think that that's like the coolest thing. And, so then I've got, like I said, we got another, the whole area down here was really, really cool. People were very friendly, very decent. And everybody's very respectful. And I'm telling you what, there was all kinds of different languages being spoke. People from all over the world are here. It's very, very congested. A lot of people, which I'm really not used to. And Eric says, well, you really came at a good time because there's really not a lot of people here right now because everybody's gone. And I'm like, there's a lot of people here. And Heather really enjoyed Eric's driving. She really enjoyed that. So, and I'm being sarcastic, just so you know. She came to me and I told Eric. She comes to me. She goes, "He drives like a lunatic."
I did not say that. I said he drives very fast.
Well, So here's the obelisk. I will show you this. So I saw this and I thought it was a really, really cool color, and I said, you know what? We're on vacation.
Does it say what it is?
What is it? What is it?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
See if it said what type.
Oh, what type of stone? Yeah, I don't know, but whatever type of stone that is very, very cool. So I said I got to have that. So we're on vacation, and that's what you do on vacation.
He's demonizing me right now. I did not be so mean when I said how fast he drove.
What did you say?
I just said, I'm like, wow, he drives very fast.
Well,
I think he drives like a lunatic. It's a very rude term.
She did say he drove like a lunatic.
I did not.
Go away. I'm doing my live stream. I love you. She did. We know what she said. She's trying to backpedal now. See how she's trying to do that?
That's because we're sitting here, right?
Exactly. So, Mike Knife, don't worry about it. If Heather decides to join the FBI, that's what she will do. So he says, Heather, don't join the FBI. I want you guys to remember something. Okay, so what Heather wants to do if she gets into the FBI, she wants to be a profiler. She wants to be one of those people that puts up the profile to catch really not just bad guys, but very evil people that go around, those mass murderers and stuff like that. She wants to do that. That's doing good for everybody. So that's what she wants to get into. So she wants to be a profiler for the FBI. And with her college at RIT, they do have an affiliation with the FBI. So that is what that's her goal right now, and that's what she plans on doing. And I think she'll be very, very good at it. And I'm going to tell you what, if she could stop bad guys from doing bad things, that is never a bad thing. Never. So the War Memorial, out of the world, if you don't tear up, if you don't tear up, you have no soul. I don't know what. Oh, War Memorials. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. It's like going to Gettysburg was very surreal. It was very, very eerie feeling there, because if you know the number of people that lost their lives there, and I want you guys to think about something again too. And a lot of people don't take this and realize what this was like. You had brother fighting brother, uncles and cousins, and everybody fighting each other, just because depending on what state they lived in and what side they were either wearing gray or they were wearing blue. That's sad if you think about that. And, but Heather be a cat profiler for catching bad cats. That's funny. That is very, very funny. Virginia is a Civil War battlefield. Yeah, I know they got them down in Virginia as well. All over. I mean, there's a lot of battles that were fought all over the place. But, but it was like Gettysburg was a different feel to it. Like I said, it was my first time ever seeing it, being there. So it was definitely a very surreal feeling. And so it was definitely different. And seeing we went up to the graveyard and I took a bunch of pictures up there and stuff like that. It was just, it was different. It was definitely different. Heather should be a cat doctor. Yeah, cats love Heather, and Heather loves cats. So Heather might find Hillary Clinton's emails. Let's hope not, because I don't want Heather to suicide herself. So that would be terrible. Arlington is 5 times deeper than Gettysburg. Yeah, I know Arlington we saw Arlington from a distance. I didn't go into it today, but we did see it up here, and it is huge. Let's see. We went. They have an area at Gettysburg where they have the museum part, and they have all the different guns and stuff like that. And that was pretty wild. And seeing the uniforms, the soldiers that the Confederates wore, and the soldiers that the Union wore, because they were all Americans, but it was the Confederacy and the Union. So seeing all that type of stuff was pretty neat. It was definitely different. It was definitely that. You know what? And I agree with you. He says you can almost feel the souls of the soldiers when you walk Gettysburg. It's a weird presence when you're there, and it's definitely different. And you have to realize too, these people didn't die a natural death. It was brutal, and it was horrible, and it was sudden. And like I said, I'm telling you what, war is never the answer. And that's just my opinion. But I think, we need to work together around the world to make the world a better place. People talk about, the planet's too big and there's too many people and the resources and stuff like that. If we truly wanted to organize things and get things squared away, realistically, there's enough room in the United States for all the people in the world. That's just the United States. Okay, think about how big Africa is. Africa is a huge, huge country. Think about Australia. Australia is huge as well, okay? So you have different parts of the world that are just enormous. You get up into Russia and some parts up there, and it's vast. Think about China even. China is a huge, huge country, and it's very diverse. And you go to different parts, and it's just like the U.S. Okay. So I want you to think about this. So I live in New York. Okay, so I'm in Upper New York. If I go to New York City and into the Bronx, they are still New Yorkers. They have a whole different language, a whole different accent and stuff like that. Then if you go, further south, people have a different accent. It's just the way that it is. It's just depending on what area of that country that they're in. And so that's pretty neat, actually, I think. Africa is 54 nations, a continent. Yeah, but I'm saying Africa in itself, I'm talking about the continent of Africa, is enormous. It's huge. And, like I said, realistically, there is plenty of room. And if we stop poisoning our oceans, which I think is really, really important, and have good management of stuff, there we would be fine. But we would rather fight over stupid little stuff and who's going to be in control and in charge. And you get these power-hungry people that don't care about anything but their own wealth and their own power. And that's sad. It really, truly is. Destroy the corporations. Well, the corporations are the ones that absolutely make all the rules. There's no doubt about that. So, have you had any more thoughts of setting up a prepper state, all those in one place? You know what, Emil, I think that would be a very, very cool thing, but you would have to get a lot of people to agree and to have I think that, I'm going to tell you what, do I think it's something that could happen? Not necessarily a state, but, starting out in a town, a county, and working it out from there. I think that would be absolutely awesome, especially all kinds of like-minded people. I think it'd be a lot safer place to be because everybody would be armed and you would have respect for each other. It's being a prepper and being an off-gridder and that type of stuff. It's a different mindset than the average person, okay? And so it's just like when I say we are Legion, because we're a big family, okay? Because we think differently than the average person. So a lot of people, it's me, I. A lot of people are like that. They're only out for themselves. But I have found, and this is just my observation, a lot of preppers are willing to work together. They're willing to help each other. If there's a project and you need help, and I always tell, if I'm free and you need a hand with something, I'm going to help you. I don't care. Not looking for anything for it. That's just the way I roll. And so that's really cool too. And I just, like I said, I think it's important that we should work together. I really do. But a lot of people won't do it. So it's sad. But if we ever really, as preppers, got organized, what we could accomplish would be absolutely amazing. It really would be. So what do we got here? International community. We are. And that's the thing is, and that's the cool thing. I'm going to give an example. One of the guys, he's been a subscriber of mine for a very, very long time. He's in Sweden, okay? He's the one that sent me the Swedish flag, and I sent him an American flag. And, he is doing his off-grid thing as well. And I think that's really, really cool. And so, we're two people from totally different backgrounds, but with the same mindset. And I think that's what makes us unique as preppers. We all have that same mindset, no matter what country we're in, no matter where we're from. And it's a big brother and sisterhood. It really, truly is. And that's what's amazing, and that's what's cool about it. And I honestly do believe that if we ever really, truly wanted to get organized to help each other and work on something and have people work together, there would be no stopping us, because we could be a true force. And it would probably scare the crap out of the government if we ever did that, to be honest with you, because they wouldn't like that, because they wouldn't have control. And they would not like that at all. So, was it at Agway today? Yeah. Yep. I like Agway. Agway's a good store. A lot of cool stuff there. Let's see. It scares the trolls if we got organized. Well, it would. It definitely would. Prepper, homesteader, and off-gridder. Exactly, James. You are absolutely right. Did you see the ad for the United Nations for disarmament workers? You know what? I didn't see that, and I'm going to tell you what. And I'm going to be really frank with you guys about this. Like, the UN is not coming in here and trying to disarm anybody. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, because I'm going to tell you right now, if they ever try to do that and they were all wearing those little blue hats, all they are nice targets to beat in on, to be honest with you. I don't think you'll ever see that happen. They know that would be a losing proposition. Unless these people that would want to do that had a death wish, you're not going to see that happen. You're not going to see that happen. And that's my opinion, and I could be 100% wrong, but that's just the way I feel about that. So I'm just being honest from my perspective on that. The second airstrike was not the Americans. Somebody said that. Well, I know that there was 5 different airstrikes the other day. 3 were in Iraq and 2 were in Syria. And they were targeting the people that were doing those missile attacks. that killed the American contractor. And I think that's an interesting title. Let's talk about that a second. American contractor. What was he doing? What was he there for? Okay. Was he helping to rebuild stuff? Or was he ex-military and working on that and doing that type of thing? What do you think, Blue? Got a big old dog over here. He's going over on his bed. He's like, I don't care if you're live streaming. You come and say hi? Huh? You come here and say hi? Huh? Come on. There you go. See this big old head? There he is. He's a good boy. Yes, you are. Are you a good boy? Yeah. He's a very big dog. Very mellow. So anyway, sorry. I like animals. Oh, he was an elite mercenary. It wouldn't shock me if the guy was, but they call it an American contractor. So you know what? None of us really know what he was there for. So that's definitely. And I'm not going to speculate that it was, but when American contractor sounds really, really nice. So it could be anything. So I find that interesting. How long is the vacation? I'm not sure yet. Heather has to be back to the school. I'll have to have her back to the school on the 12th because she has class on the 13th. So we definitely have to be back by the 12th. We'll see. I don't know. We're just going with the flow. We have no set plans that we have to be here and we have to be there. There's a couple people I'm going to visit. Choo Choo Rooterbean. We will be visiting him in Tennessee. I have a friend of mine that I visited before who lives in South Carolina. And that's my buddy Reese. And we're not at a hotel right now. We are at some friend's house right now. So, but we're going to go down and see him as well. And that's, no, we're not going all the way down to Florida, Wolf Pup. No, we're not going that far. South Carolina is the farthest south we're going to go on this trip. So we're just going to go see some things that we haven't seen before. We're going to do things that we haven't done before. One of the things I would love to do is I would love to take Heather up into Asheville in North Carolina. There's a place there called Chimney Rock that I visited once when I was in my early 20s, and it is very, very cool up there. It is a beautiful, beautiful area of the country, and I would love to take her up there and have her see that. So we may try to work that in as well. I don't know yet. We'll have to just kind of see where we are and what we're doing and stuff like that. Wondered how the dog got there. Yeah, right. Yeah. No sweets. I don't know what you mean by that. Yes, we did the Smithsonian. Yeah, we did do that. We were at the Smithsonian today. We went to the art gallery, which was very, very cool. And it's funny too, because we're walking by and we're getting ready to go to the Smithsonian. And Eric goes, "You want to go to the art museum?" I'm like, "No, I know Heather wants to see the Smithsonian." And then Heather goes, "Well, I would like to see the art museum." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So we go in there. It was awesome. I'll be honest with you. The art museum was awesome. They had Van Goghs in there. They had all kinds of stuff. Oh, well, we did get to see two today. I'm sure not a lot of people have ever seen this. We saw the Hope Diamond as well today. That was on display, and that was very, very cool. Actually, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but I will try to pull this up for you, and I will show you because I took a picture of it. I don't know how well that is going to show up, if there's going to be too much of a glare. Let me see. Try to bring that in there so you guys, you can't really see it. But anyway, that's a picture of the Hope Diamond. It was 46.5 carats, I believe, something like that. It was really, really cool to see. Yep, it's blue. Yep, a big blue rock. Yep, exactly. But yeah, no, it was, like I said, it was just getting out today and seeing all kinds of different things that you're never going to see before, and you might not ever see again. To me, that's what vacation is all about. New experiences, meeting new people, seeing new things and stuff like that. Now, Eric, he was at my prepper get-together when I did the prepper get-together this last year. Now, we will be doing that again this year. Now that we're into the new year, I can go ahead and book the week. It's probably going to be in July. I'm probably going to book that for July for, the pavilion at Letchworth State Park. We'll do it again. So that's going to be, we're going to make it an annual thing. We're going to do a prepper get-together every year. We had a great turnout last year. and I hope we have even bigger turnout this year. But I'm going to tell you what, it was funny because you're talking, people came from Connecticut, they came from Ohio, they were, let's see, we had Tennessee, Virginia, Washington, D.C., obviously, Pennsylvania, all over New York. So you had all these different people from different places came together for this prepper get-together. And it was just like one big family. And it was absolutely cool. And people were engaging and talking with each other because, again, we were all like-minded people. And that was really, really cool. And that's why I truly believe if we ever decided as a group of people and said, let's work together, let's go and pick some place where we all can go and start buying up property in that place and take over. And if we did that, there'd be no stopping us, because get involved in local government and start running for office and run for sheriff and run for whatever. And, basically we could take over any area that we wanted to, because there's so many of us. And the cool thing would be you put those like-minded people together, and what we could accomplish in whatever area there'd be no stopping us. Absolutely no stopping us. Let's see. The diamond on the Titanic was fictional, called the Heart of the Ocean, I think. Yeah, that was definitely fictional. But the Hope Diamond, there is a history with that. That's why it was given away, because everybody that owned it died in not good deaths. So there was I think it was 4 or 5 people that had it that died, very short period of time after acquiring it. I think it was within inside of 2 years or something like that. All those people that acquired that Hope Diamond were dead. So they gave it away, I think, or gave it to the Smithsonian or whatever. And so now it's travels and it's on display. But it was here in Washington, D.C., and we got to see it today. So that was really, really cool. Yep, it's cursed. Absolutely. Yep. I'm glad you did not touch the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond, it was behind a glass thing. Nobody could touch it. Nobody could touch it, but it was there for the display, and it was really, really cool to see. No, I would not want to touch it. I wouldn't want to put it on, because, like I said, there's bad mojo with the Hope Diamond. So, are you concerned with the retaliation Iran will take and possibly kick off a war? Again, it would depend on what they do. I think they're going to be really, really careful with what they do. They could be just talking, because I'm going to say it again. If we go to war with Iran, there's no way Iran can win. No way. We have too much technological stuff. We don't even have to put boots on the ground, and we could take care of business realistically. We could bomb them into the Stone Age using missiles from ships and all that type of stuff. Now, there would be casualties. Absolutely, there would be casualties. You would lose some ships, and things would happen. And if that happened, they would unleash on Israel. And that would draw Israel into it as well. And like I said, the whole situation would be very, very bad. So, again, it's like that whole, right now they're embarrassed. One of their top guys has been killed. It makes them look very, very bad. And again, because of where he was not in Iran. He was in Iraq. So he was there to cause problems and to stir stuff up and these militants and stuff like that. So obviously that's a problem. So, people in Iran are dancing in their homes, thanking Trump, videos on Twitter. Oh, really? Well, there may be some. And like I said, you know what? There's a whole subculture of people over there that are just like us here. They don't want war. They want modernization. They would, when the Shah was in charge over there, Iran was very modern. They were very ahead of their time. And then, when he was taken out of there and the regime came in there, and they have the Ayatollah over there and the person that's in charge, and they really became very, very restrictive of what they were doing. You look what they just did when the people got upset about the gas prices being raised and they were protesting. They cut off the internet, they cut off communications with phones and all that type of stuff, and they took a whole bunch of people out. They were not playing. So those people that are in charge, they're not afraid to kill their own people, which is kind of sad, to be honest with you. All right, so we're going to do this at this point. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up. What are we at? 335. I want to see if we can hit 400 before we jump off here. But I got to do this part now, and I don't want nobody jumping the gun until I actually ask, because if you jump the gun, I'm not going to say you're where you're from, okay? So we are Legion. There are so many of us out here. We're a huge family, and we're Legion not in the bad biblical way, but we are Legion because in a good way, because there's so many of us. So now I'm going to ask, where is everybody from? Show me where you guys are all from, and send the Hope Diamond to Iran. That's funny. We'll just send it to the Ayatollah and give it to him. Let him wear it. So, so where's everybody from tonight? What part of the world or state are you guys from? We got Illinois, Montreal, Canada. We got North Carolina, York, New York. We got Maine, North Carolina again, Tennessee, Chicagoland, Kentucky, Alabama. We have New Zealand, Arizona. Let's see. We got California, Wisconsin, Western Massachusetts, North Carolina, Glen Falls, New York, Pennsylvania again, close to Gettysburg. Very cool. Washington State, Minnesota, Connecticut, Michigan, Austin, Texas, Iowa, New Orleans, Pennsylvania, Brooklyn, New York. Let's see. We have Dover, Pennsylvania. Let's see. We got Southern California, Missouri. Let's see. Pennsylvania again, Baltimore, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Dover, Pennsylvania, the Bay Area in San Francisco. That's where that is. Jersey, Long Island, Arkansas, Georgia, South Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Colorado, Alabama, Central Florida, Perkin, Ohio, Mississippi, Indiana. Let's see. Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Very nice. Indiana, Wisconsin again. We got Oregon, Connecticut, Ohio, Oklahoma, Northern California, Michigan, Louisville, New York. Somebody put Iran. That's funny. I know you're not from Iran, but that was very funny. Got California. We got Georgia, Salem, Oregon, Ohio. So guys, we are all over the United States. We're all over the world. We are Legion. We really, truly are. There are so many of us that, like I said, and again, if we work together and came together to try to make things better, we really, truly could. There's nobody could stop us. Realistically, nobody could. So that one person said Iran. I saw, one person did. Got Long Island, New York, Hudson, Florida. So, yeah, we're all over the place, guys. We are absolutely, there's Phoenix, Arizona. So, but, yeah, and the thing is, we truly can make a difference. We can make a difference now, and we can make a difference later. And again, and I'm going to tell you guys again and again and again, and if you do it or if you don't do it, it's going to be up to you. But network, network, network. Make yourself have plenty of options. Work together with like-minded people. Meet people now. Make those connections now. Because realistically, after SHTF, you're going to have a lot of people on edge. A lot of people on edge. And so you're going to need to be careful because there's going to be people that are going to shoot first and ask questions later. So that's, if you network now and you have, those people that you can work with, that's the way to do it. It really, truly is. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you very much. I definitely will. So far, we have had a really nice vacation so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it. We're just going to, like I said, we're going to relax. We're going to have a good time, and that's what we're going to do. So let's see. Let's see. Hey, Miss D. She said, "Hey, Prep, so glad to see you in your chat." Well, thank you, and I appreciate you being here. I want to take this moment really quickly to thank my moderators. They do an awesome, awesome job. They're here 3 days a week. They don't have to be, and they make that sacrifice, and they're here, and they're helping to keep that chat clean, which is really, really nice, and they do a great job. So anyway, what else? We need our own flag, Emil. Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Design our own flag for preppers. That would be very, very cool. Hey, Tubular Guy 9, how you doing? He says, "Sorry, I missed most of the vacation live, Ed." That's okay. You can watch it again later. We're talking about a whole bunch of, different things like we always do. But I think that would be cool if we had our own flag, our own prepper flag. I think that would be really, really neat.
Picture you on it, man.
Have a picture of me. Well, that'd be kind of narcissistic, don't you think? I'm not. No, that's not me. It would be. We would have to make a cool flag though for preppers. I think that would be really, really cool. All right, so we're at 369 guys on the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that up to 400. I'm going to do my ending thing now, so we're going to see where that goes. But we're at 369. So if you haven't done a thumbs up, please do so now. I would appreciate it. Again, guys, when I say we're all in this together, we really truly are, because when that time comes, the only way we're going to survive what's coming is by working together. And so networking now, getting to know your fellow preppers, and taking a chance. And I know that's hard for some people, but I think it's important to do that, okay? Remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there in life is you. Nobody else can stop you. Have dreams, have hopes, have something that you're trying to work towards. That's important because that gives us hope. It really, truly does, okay? So stay positive, stay away from that negativity, and you guys will be fine. So look at that. We hit 400. Awesome. It's 400 on the nose. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate you guys being here. If things are not like normal, obviously, for the rest of this vacation with getting stuff up, I'm going to try to get something up daily for you guys. And I'm going to try to get my live streams in while we're on vacation. We'll see how that all goes. So I appreciate you all. You have no idea. The support makes all the difference in the world. It really, truly does. Remember, guys, have a great night. I hope you have a good weekend. Please be safe. Please don't drink and drive, because it's like, that's just not worth it at all. So if you're going to go out and have a few beers and have a good time, do it. But don't drive. Have somebody else drive. Have that designated driver. Take that taxi or whatever home. So just be safe, okay? I will talk to you all tomorrow, and we're going to do this flea market tomorrow. So I'll probably do some video from there because I think that would be really cool. And that will probably go up later tomorrow night, so look for that then, okay? Have a great night. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.